All right. Thank you very much, Alex, for having me. And it's great to see so many familiar faces and, so many people I know on this call. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to everyone and logging in from different parts of the world. My name is Aditya Mani, and I am a founder of an app called Yologram that helps you style yourself with branded apparel. And we do this by applying photorealistic clothing onto your photorealistic avatar, primarily for the purpose of try-ons. And try-ons are just the beginning, which teases onto purchasing on digital fashion as well as physical fashion. But from there on, once you have that clothing on your avatars, you can go on to content creation, which we feel is a far more sticky and a more interesting way where consumers would want to be connected with the platform. And I always talk about phygital duality, and we all know what phygital is. Phygital is really about tying the digital to the physical. Alex spoke a little bit about it. And we've mastered the art of creating a digital twin. So we can take a jacket or we can take a pair of pants, especially when I talk about fashion and apparel. You can make a digital twin of it with such high accuracy. You can look at all the textures. You can go in real close. You can see all the stitch lines. In fact, sometimes I feel you can see more than what you can see physically. So if you take a photograph of a pair of jeans and go real close and zoom in real close, you'll probably begin to see that the camera's focusing power goes out. But when you spawn clothing in AR in your home, if you go real close into it, you can actually see the textures, and it begins to show the texture level detail that you can't see in a physical item through your camera. So you're looking at both items through a camera lens, but you're seeing more detail in AR on a digital item. So that's fascinating. That just gives you an idea of how much we've covered in terms of just the looks of it. But that's not where the story ends. The story really begins from there, because once you made a copy of it, you need to have that copy mirroring what it does in real life. So we have to also copy the behavior of that product digitally, as well as not just having that product digitally with us. So I've shown, for example, I have this image of this photorealistic human. What if you were to have a photorealistic call with this person, either in VR or you were to have it on a Zoom call, and this person was absolutely still. He was just looking at you like a photograph. Or you could move around him, you could go all around him, but you couldn't see his mouth moving, you couldn't see. So it's not a very engaging experience. Whereas if you look at a cartoon experience where you have an avatar and the person's mouth is moving, that's a far more engaging experience. So what I'm trying to get to is we've already mastered the detail as far as the looks are concerned, but we also have to do a lot in terms of the behavior of the product. And if some of you think the metaverse is far away because some of these big brands tell us that, I don't think it is. If I were to just talk to you about an experience, right? Think of your favorite brand, think of your apparel brand that you like, and say they are based in Italy, for example, and you just put on a headset and you've seen all these virtual worlds where they walk you through virtual stores, but this time you've actually put the headset on, and as you move your head, you're able to look through this virtual world. And when you look out of the window of this store, right, you're able to see the hills of Tuscany. You're able to apply that as a 360 inside the virtual world. It's totally possible today. And when you're looking in that, when you're looking inside that virtual world, you see this amazing, nice, white jacket, which kind of goes with the whole Tuscan background. And right next to it, you have two options. Either you can see it on yourself, or you could see it on the branded ambassador. And when you click on that, you see your favorite hip hop star right there, right in front of you when you wear this headset. And you see the person wearing that particular jacket, and then you see him from an experience from a concert, and you can further click into that, and you can go into that concert, and you can see him, singing in that concert, wearing that jacket. You can go further into that, invite your friends, have a private concert with them. Now look at the level of immersion. We're going into multiple levels of immersion. All this is possible today. All these are very, 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 very intimate kind of activations that a brand can do. It just requires that the jacket has to be playable, and the jacket can be applied onto your avatar, and that is all that it needs to do. And this is something that's truly possible today. It's just that the metaverse is getting there. Doesn't mean that it's all hype and not real. So, that's the reason why I gave you this little example of, how it could be an experience where you can see it on the avatar of a celebrity, you can see it on yourself, and you can actually experience that, audio-visual media kind of experience with your friends, where you call in real time, and then look at the kind of loyalty you have towards that jacket. Imagine going into a virtual concert wearing that jacket. You really want to own that jacket. And if you can't own that jacket in physical because it's $2,500, you may want to buy the jacket digitally because it's still $2 or $5. So, that's where this whole world is going. And, the brands realize that the digital economy is going to be bigger than the physical economy. I always give the example of when I talk about Apple Music versus CDs. Every time you burn a new CD, every time you mint a new CD, there's an incremental marginal cost for making a new CD. So even though a CD is like $15 versus, initially how Apple Music started off with, 99 cents or $1 for a song, but the reach that Apple Music had, the ability of people to just click and keep buying those $1 songs is so much more. And then the marginal cost of giving you one more unit of that song, which is digitally signed and present on your iPod or on your iPhone, is very little compared to, say, making one more CD. And that's how the music industry exploded digitally. And the same thing is going to happen in every media, whether it's visual or it's multi-sensory. And that's where we're going. And, it's not just hype. That's what I'm appealing to you. So from an interaction angle, especially when I'm looking at, fashion, what we tend to do is mix and match. So, when we go to the mall, we hold that hanger real quick up to our head and say, hey, how does this look on me? And we even sometimes click a selfie and send it to a friend and say, hey, what do you think? And this is possible today. We are able to actually mix and match fashion in real time. You're able to put on the white shirt with black pants, and then you're able to swap it with blue jeans. You can do this in real time, and you can share it with a friend. And in terms of what would you do if you buy that T-shirt or jacket? You go home and you put it in your wardrobe. You wash it. You take it with you. So that sense of ownership can be brought into it with NFT. So you can wear it in a game. You can wear it on a Zoom call. You can wear it in that virtual concert with your friends, which I spoke to you about. So that's the power of NFTs, where you say, hey, I like this little thing, which is digitally present. I want to take it. Suppose you're looking inside a home store and you see that couch. You want to take that couch with you and put it in your virtual world that you've designed for meetings. That's possible. So, it's important that the products that are made are not just a beautiful digital copy of it visually. It's important that they are playable, and it's important that the consumer is able to do something with this. So, really the expression of what you're able to do with this, which we think is the power of storytelling. So, why are we looking at all this? We're really looking at all this because the phygital commerce will happen. There is a part of us which wants to stay in reality. So we want to have the same shirt which is in our wardrobe digitally, because that gives us a sense of authenticity. And then there is also an aspirational nature which says that, hey, I can't afford Louis Vuitton in real life. I can't afford Dolce & Gabbana in real life, but I would like to own a digital version, because one day I'm going to buy that Rolex. One day I'm going to buy that Louis Vuitton. So, that's where the whole aspirational commerce and social commerce is coming into the phygital world. So, we know the problem today in e-commerce is typically that, it's flat, it's static, and it's impersonal. So, this beautiful model is shot in a certain perspective. It was built for the whole 2D photo shoot was built for the catalog industry. It was built for the magazine industry, where you set up this amazing, environment where you call in the perfect supermodel, you make them wear the perfect clothing, set up the perfect lighting. But the consumer today wants to see it on their own skin tone. They want to see it on their own self. They want to see it on their body type. And this, impersonal experience is something that especially Gen Z, which is more used to a playable experience, is starting to question, why is it that e-commerce is not so playable? So, they used to experientially engaging with platforms. So that's why they find it intuitive to use Apple Music versus a CD. They find it intuitive to go straight to the last Netflix scene they saw versus regular CD. Similarly, they're looking at an experiential engagement in e-commerce, where they feel that, hey, why is everything locked? Why can't I just change the shirt, see it on myself, change the skirt, have that whole mix and match, which is missing today. And, in terms of ownership, they've spent so much on Fortnite and Roblox. but it's like a walled garden. They feel that they're locked in. So can they really take this jacket or they take this shirt, wear it in one virtual world, then wear it on a Zoom call, then go into a game with it? That's possible today with NFTs. And of course, they all, each one of these Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids out there, they may be the shy kids at school, but each one of them have a good following. In fact, some of them have bigger followings than we do. They're all either, nano influencers or micro influencers with thousands of followers. And these are not just followers just for the sake of it. These are kids who stand for something and they share content when they feel very passionately about it. And all their followers really connect into that person where they want to hear content. So, from a consumer standpoint, it's so important that you take care of all these facets that the consumer feels is lacking today. Brands have kind of evolved from the industrial revolution. So what they've kind of done is focused on a production first, so sale. And then they think that the answer is loyalty by selling more to the same consumer, by messaging out to them. And really it's not working, because when you're outbidding someone on a search engine or on an e-commerce platform, you're making them more price sensitive. You're not making them more loyal. And similarly, when you reach out to all these consumers by repeated messaging, they're tuning you out for ads, they're tuning you out for all this kind of messaging, because they're built to press skip at the end of the YouTube video. That's how they're built to work, because they tune out ads. They just don't see it. And if you were to look at new revenue, just putting your logo out there from a fashion angle is not what's going to work with Gen Z. So we think there are solutions out there which are present in the metaverse and in platforms. And we really think that, when these kids are talking about experientially engaging, what they're really asking us for is, can we style ourselves? And can we style ourselves with branded apparel? We don't want to style ourselves with fantasy. We don't want to have wings at the back. We know all that can be done in gaming. Can we do it with something that we see in e-commerce, where we can take a decision on either buying both physical and digital, or just buying digital in case we don't want to buy physical, especially for aspirational gear? And, in terms of ownership, if I can own something out of this, and if I can make money out of it. So either where to earn, which is the whole concept that, when the whole world today, Netflix Immersive is talking about virtual product placement. So, you're going to see an immersive movie, you're going to either wear a headset and go into it, or you're going to see it on 2D, but you're going to see a scene where, you'll have a table. And because I like to, look for a certain kind of energy drink, you'll see that I'll see that energy drink on the table. But whereas you like to buy a certain brand of coffee, you'll see that brand of coffee on the table. Similarly, we think that placement on the body, on the avatar, and on the players is going to be the most kind of influential way. So every consumer can technically become a virtual influencer by placing branded content on their bodies. And we give them a tool to create content. So what that really means is that they're actually sharing content either in social AR, or they're creating content in 3D, which will kind of add up into their metaverse stories. So what we're really doing is moving the paradigm from 3D commerce, which we've all seen in the last few years. You can bring the jacket into your home. You can see all the texture level detail I spoke to you about. You're able to spin the jacket around, but we're moving it to the level of what Roblox and Fortnite gives you, where it's playable commerce. So on the left, you see the gray pants with the red and blue jacket. You can just touch it, and then it moves on to the green and brown jacket with the gray pants. So this mix and match is really more what the consumer wants today, rather than just seeing that static object in their home. And when we talk about 3D commerce and playable commerce, we have our way of viewing it. So in 3D commerce, you spin up your own avatar and you can see it in a fitting room kind of scene. And we've kind of built this for a mobile app, because we feel that kids shop a lot on mobile apps. So this is something they can do while sitting at the back of an Uber. This is something they can do while waiting for their subway inside in the underground. And then when we move on to playable commerce, you see the gentleman on the right with the red vest and the black pants, and then he applies the green jacket, which comes from the cloud, which is a 3D object. He can see himself in real time, and suddenly the pants take on a different color. And where this is truly very valuable is where you talk about customization. So if I'm buying a Nike Barcelona t-shirt, and that t-shirt costs me $1, I don't mind spending $2 to have my name written at the back. So this is where digital gear being ultra customized digitally will be more meaningful than the physical gear that you have, which is kind of generic. And what we're also doing is unlocking gamified experiences. So we spoke about the aspirational nature of it. This is the gamified experience where two friends can share their virtual avatars in real time in each other's spaces. So these two friends are present in different parts of the world. They've kind of beamed themselves inside each other's living room, and they can see each other, walk around each other, go real close, see the clothing level, texture, details. And this is very meaningful when two people are pairing together for a party, or when a bridesmaid and bride are pairing together. You can see this either on screen in VR in different kind of immersive situations, or you can even see this in AR, by launching yourself in each other's homes. So this is basically what we do. And when I talk about NFTs and monetization, it's so important to realize that the utility of the NFT is so important. So you have to not just have real utility to this NFT, you should also have some stickiness to it. And we believe that the stickiness that a situation like, say, Axie Infinity has is because of the circular economics. So we have two sides of the story. So one is we go from the commerce to the styling. So what we do is styling to storytelling. So we have the 2D item on the left. We create a 3D, we digitize the catalog, we create a 3D object, then we apply it onto our avatar. So we're really moving from styling to storytelling. You're styling yourself, and then you're able to share yourself. And from a storytelling angle, you can immerse yourself in 3D virtual worlds. You can immerse yourself on a 360 pipeline. And this is pretty powerful too, because the 360 pipeline is, again, a content pipeline that either the brand can contribute to or the consumer can contribute to. So it could be a vacation that you've gone to, which you're very fond of, and you're able to upload you're able to spawn your own avatar in your own vacation photograph. Or like in this case, there's a mall that the avatar is immersed in. This is a branded experience that's being pushed by the brand, and because it's real time, we're able to pick up the 360 image-based lighting. So the avatar's face lighting, I'll show that in the next scene, but we're able to pick it up based on the lighting information. And of course, you can have fun with AR. So I've placed the avatar on my laptop. You can place the avatar on your Starbucks coffee cup. You can place it on a McDonald's burger. There's so many interesting digital activations you can do in AR. And this is great storytelling when you're sharing in social AR. So, from a real-time lighting point of view, we're able to simulate natural light. So that's natural outdoor lighting. We could even do outdoor lighting when it's street lighting or some kind of artificial light. We can do indoor lighting. Now, what's important is it's the same avatar, but the clothing are taking on different tones depending on the lighting. And this is all real time. And this is all based on 360. So, this is, the immersions can be beamed in either by the consumer or beamed in by the brand. And, think about this, kid wants to say, hey, how would I look on the beach wearing, these shorts? Or how would I look in a nightclub wearing this kind of clothes? We can do that real-time simulation, just by, having that pipeline open to the brand and the consumer. So, here's contributing to storytelling. So he's wearing an MTV t-shirt, but he's placed himself in his own vacation photographs. So, it's storytelling where both the brand and the consumer are co-creating stories together. It could be the other way around. You could be wearing your favorite clothing, but you could be in a branded experience. You could be in a stadium that means something to this athletic brand, or you could be inside the store itself. So this is what we do. So we take these small video stories or image stories and convert them into NFTs. And the real utility of these NFTs is that, if I've made this experience or this story as an NFT, and Alex picks it up, and Alex just touches that story, he will get the clothing onto his avatar. Now, if he likes that avatar and if he likes the clothing, I will be compensated on my smart contract. That's the way it's made. So, we're building in circular economics by saying that, hey, I'm creating an NFT to earn out of this. So I'm bringing in my creativity by, choosing the immersive background I have, choosing the combination. So, Nike has put the orange shirt with blue jeans, but I feel the orange shirt looks good with black track pants. So I'm putting on the orange shirt with black track pants. And rather than just putting a plain vanilla background, I'm putting a background of a stadium. I'm doing a little push-up. And that's something that someone likes, someone clicks on it, picks it up. And the minute someone picks up that orange t-shirt, I'm getting compensated because I've contributed towards the styling. So the NFT being a tool to earn is utility according to us. The NFT unlocking creativity, unlocking the stylus is utility to us. So we really think it's important that we do this. So I spoke to you in the past about moving from styling to storytelling. Now what we're doing is we're doing the full circle. So we're doing storytelling to styling. So you pick up the story, you see it on your avatar, then you're able to either buy the physical good by being redirected to e-commerce, or you're able to buy the digital good by saving it to your digital wallet. And of course, the whole circular economics, depending on which story you picked it up from, the storyteller gets compensated as well. And I also spoke about how important it is to be the human themselves being a part of the virtual product placement. So, when I'm putting on clothing, I'm going into a virtual world, meeting friends on a virtual call, or I'm wearing it on a Zoom call, a 2D Zoom call, where my avatar is coming in on the Zoom call, someone can actually be interested in owning the same clothing. So depending on the level of integration you have with the platform, either they can click on it and have that clothing come to them, or they can get a link where they can figure out how to apply the same clothing onto themselves. So it's really about unlocking the power of virtual product placement on your own body or on your own avatar. And because these avatars will be persistent over virtual worlds, we believe this does have value. So we're very different from regular gaming activations because we're not in the cartoonish space. We're different from filters because we don't really think moving your body is a persistent experience. It's tough to do, to drive that fashion every time by moving your body. And also it's not a great experience because when you're trying to do a real-time movement, because we don't have glasses and we're not able to see ourselves in real time in the mirror, you have to put the phone far away. And when you put the phone far away, the phone becomes really small. And when you come close to monitor it, the tracking stops because all four body, your members are not visible, your arms and legs are not visible, tracking stops. So you're not able to get the quality that you can get with avatar. So we've kind of spawned ourselves in our own home. So you can actually walk around yourself. It's quite a compelling experience and you can see that clothing. So think about seeing a mannequin in your own home, but that mannequin is you. And not just that, you can do storytelling with it. So I'm going to play a video. It's going to be a bit loud. But the idea is that we're able to mix animation, tie it into an animation pipeline because we're able to convert video into animation. And of course, we've tied to music as well because kids love to share these stories with music. Yeah, so that's basically how I think of NFT monetization making a lot of sense, because it's so important to have that circularity in the economics of it. The tokenomics is important, so we are building on a chain which is an L1 chain, which is very strong on tokenomics, and they're dealing with multiple startups contributing to the same liquidity pool so that we're not subject to any kind of social hacks. But in addition to just sorting the tokenomics, it's also important that your in-game economics has some circularity to it, similar to the way Axie Infinity has done it. And we're not just doing play to earn just for the sake of it. We feel that there's a lot of fun in the styling, and those who have a good eye would like to earn from the experience. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to take them.